and it is Tuesday, the 11th of July, 7/11. So Free Slurpee Day, June 11th, and it's also the Major League All-Star Game. Chris, I swung and missed on the home run derby. It was, yeah, it's the reason why I don't really put too much money on it. I bet $50 on it total, and I normally bet about 3 times. So I put $25 on each of my picks, Robert and Garcia, and I was glad. I was kind of mad that I even put that on them.
Yeah, I was there with you. I had Robert and Rodriguez, so I at least had one in the final. But yeah, it fell short.
In
And
all transparency, I didn't even watch the whole home run derby thing. I missed part of it. I was out at dinner. It's like I only get a few days off a year, and I was out at dinner, so I missed part of it. I thought I'd be able to watch it on my iPad. For some reason, it wouldn't hook in, so I didn't get to watch it. But the part that I did get back to watch, heavy criticism of the pitchers. it was heavy. It was like they were like really holding the pitchers accountable on this. They were like, I mean, it's like he's got to throw the ball right here in the sweet spot. It's like it's the manager of the Blue Jays. It's like if you really want a guy that can do that and lob them in like that, why not just get like Andrew Cashner or like Heaney or someone, to do it for you? They should have had
like
that Heaney, like for Dallas Garcia. He should have had Heaney do
treat it like a real game.
it. Yeah, just have like get like
Just pitch the way you normally do.
yeah,
It will have a great day.
exactly. It's like I mean, it's like the White Sox, like Robert. He should have called like old friend Dallas Keuchel in.
Yeah. Where's Jordan Lyles when you need him?
Seriously,
Certainly not.
Why
Certainly not
wouldn't you
All-Star
just
week.
do that? What if like the location of the pitch is so important and they're just lobbing them in anyway? Then why wouldn't you just get one of your pitchers to do it?
I think you and I are onto something. Next year, one team's going to call the guy that's given up the most home runs up to the All-Star break, and they'll be like, "Hey, need you to come out for him?" But yeah, I saw people roasting. I think it was Pete Alonso's thrower on Twitter because he was supposed to have his batting practice actual arm, and he got injured, or he had a forearm injury or something. So they had to use like a relief pitcher, and he kept spiking him in the dirt on the way to the plate. So Alonso had nothing to hit.
How about Ian Kennedy for the Rangers?
Oh,
that would have been good.
Yeah, you call him in for Garcia. Yeah.
Hey, Julio Rodriguez has not been a home run hitter this season, so it didn't really surprise me. The guy who surprised me was, I think the pitching had a lot to do with it. I think the guys were right, but I think that I'm not saying that the guys who were criticizing the pitching weren't right. They were, but I think maybe it's something that they put a little bit more emphasis on in the future if they care. I think that Vladdy was happy that it was his manager, that was doing it. And before we get too deep into the All-Star game, we're not going to get all that deep because it's nothing to really get too serious about with it. The players don't take it seriously. We don't take it too seriously. I will not be betting the game. But how about Pat Fitzgerald getting fired at Northwestern?
I had a feeling there was something going on there. I mean,
but it's hazing. And for those of you keeping score, I opened the blinds today to show everybody. I'm right out by the pool. I'm right by the pool here. It's not a lousy background. And also, to prove I'm on vacation, I slept in this shirt. I just woke up. I'm rolling out of bed. I slept in this shirt. And, yeah, that's vacation style. Not in the hat, but in the shirt. My wife was pacing around the place. She's like, I'm not used to you sleeping.
She has to do the welfare check every half hour. Like, hey, you alive? I'm not used to you still not being.
Well, normally, like, make a pot of coffee. I drink most of it. She drinks 1 cup. I wasn't up to drink. He had a couple cups. She's bouncing off the walls.
Uh, but yeah, I wasn't I wasn't shocked
I
to.
thought Rosarena really did himself well. I thought he did himself.
Yeah, he did.
I thought he did himself really well in that.
Yeah, I didn't think, like I said yesterday, I didn't think that, I thought he was going to be more timely hitting, but no, he absolutely demolished all this way to the final.
Jay has summer league picks. So Webiyama, after us, applauding his performance, now they shut him down for summer league.
Going out on a high note.
Yeah, it's like, all right, he's good. You think he plays all 82 games this season? What do you think? They sit him.
I don't want to wish this about anybody, but I think he gets injured at some point. I think it's going to be one of those similar injuries that maybe we saw something like with Chet Holmgren. You always see those really tall guys have like those really substantial foot injuries. And I don't know. I think that's
going to be a star this year. I think he's going to be unbelievable. Here's my prediction for NBA, and it's way early, and Jake can blast me, but I think Chet Holmgren is going to be an all-star this season.
He looks good. You can see the muscle that he put on.
Also, it's not like he was. So, like before Webiyama was seen as having all that talent, Chet Holmgren was seen as having all that talent.
Yeah.
And at Gonzaga, he definitely showed that he did have it. He's an amazing passer, for a guy that size and shooter, and he plays defense, and he's 7'10". He's Andre the Giant. He's 7 foot. That was the best, that Andre the Giant special. It's like no one actually ever measured his height. They just said he was.
Say we see the legendary story that he crushed 24 beers in a single sitting, and it's like
little thimbles.
It's like the little mini cans.
Little
mini cans.
When I was a kid, I saw Andre like when he first came, onto the scene, and I remember him stepping over that top rope, and I was like, "Oh my god, this guy's freaking gigantic!" And the first thing that happened, what was the first thing that happened, Chris, when Andre the Giant? This probably predates yet. What was the first thing that happened when Andre the Giant busted onto the scene in wrestling?
I swear to go like unbeaten or something for.
George Allen from the Redskins head coach tried to sign him as a defensive end.
Oh, I remember that. Now that you say that, I remember that.
He was like, the first thing was like, how do I get in touch with this guy and offer him a contract, like sight unseen? He's like, you got a guy this big, that athletic, that can jump around like that. He's like, I'll put him as a defensive end. That'll be the end of it. He was so excited about it. But Thunder Buddies for life, man. I think Chet's going to be good. I do. Who did they get in the first round this year at Thunder Buddies? It's like they got round picks.
Hold on. It's going to bug me until I think of it.
Here we go.
No, they traded up for somebody. I think they traded up to 10 to get someone.
No, the Mavs got picked 10. Oh no!
But they traded the pick.
Kaysen Wallace.
Yeah.
Look at all
they swapped Derek Lively.
All right, so I mean, from what we've seen in the summer league, and it's been a pretty good indication in the past. Okay, Brandon Miller's a baller, man. Right? I mean, Webiyama's better than he was the first game. He's going to have problems. He's going to get a lot of attention, right? So he's going to have some problems. He wasn't up against the best of the best. He was scoring at 27, but still, he was up against good players. That's for sure. Yeah. What's the talk on the Raptors?
Obviously Fred VanVleet leaving for Houston's a blow, and now they're trying to figure out where the point guard play is going to come from. Dennis Schroeder, I don't know if he's the move to really bolster that. I think point guard's going to be the weakness of the team this year. And now they're talking about how the Pacers were. All these teams are suddenly making a move for Pascal Siakam. Indiana is the latest one, and yeah, I don't know. I think that this Raptors team's close to blowing it up. To be honest, I think
So
they're going to start.
my friends in Miami are all over the Messi thing. That it's finally really it's getting really big in Miami.
Yeah,
They yesterday they unveiled a giant mural of Messi in the city of Miami. Like I mean, this is big stuff. And they sent me this, and I sent this to Goran. Let's see if I can find it. It didn't come out. That's
yeah, it's massive. It was rumored for a couple of years, and then he went to the Saudi league for I think a year. It was rumored to, but now the move to MLS was completed, and I think this is the biggest thing the MLS has done in league history without question. It's now proving it's potentially a viable option just for European players. Yeah, European players that may be on the back end of their careers, but they're bringing in some of the world's best. We saw Gareth Bale go to LAFC a few years ago. Wayne Rooney came over and played for DC United. I think he's coaching DC United now,
this is
or at
what
least he was at one point.
my friends. I got a picture of it. Let's see if it comes up. Um, so they've got the latest in Miami from Miami is the it is the I don't see it on our screen. Do you see it?
Uh, no, my thing is doing the pinwheel
Oh, mine is
on
too.
the.
So weird. Okay, I guess it won't come up. Strange. Maybe we can take a picture of it. It's strange because in my preview it does come up. Oh, there it is. All right. So it's the messy burger at Hard Rock. You see it now?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the messy burger. What
Oh
do you think
boy.
of that? Too much?
I'll let you know after. I'll let you know after I taste test it first.
But he has a good name for a burger, the messy burger.
Yeah,
It's a messy burger. It's very messy.
it's a lot of flash.
Well, let's
Oh,
get to the All Star game here. It's
all
like
right.
this this on the road stuff is really pretty difficult. It's like I have a lag. Oh, I see what's going on here. All right. So normally I'm looking at one thing. There we go. All right. Now I have it. Okay. Now I'm back on my regular screen. Now I see what happened. Okay. Anyways, you have it. The messy burger from Miami. All right, well, let's look at this All Star game and see what we've got. First of all, of course, we're going to look at the rosters and criticize the choices. That's what we do. For Texas, Jonah Heim, catcher, deserves it, doesn't deserve it. The
I would
backup,
say deserves.
the backup for him is
Salvador Perez.
Salvador Perez, who I think Salvi's had a decent year. He's been in a tough spot. He's been more of a leader this year than we've seen him before. So, yeah, I think, and Rushman from Baltimore, who I think is a great team player, a great guy for their team. I
Yeah.
don't know if he's an all star. I'll give it to Heim with the season that he's having.
Yeah, I agree. I like Jonah Heim there.
How about Yandy Diaz at first base for the Rays? It's tough to argue with anything that the Rays have done.
Yeah, yeah.
How about Vladdy?
I was gonna say as a homer, I would want to see Vladdy, but I'm just glad he's there at all the season that he's had up to this point. So yeah, I don't mind Andy Diaz being the first baseman.
All right, so Marcus Semien started the season on an amazing tear.
Yeah,
He has not been as good recently, and neither of the Rangers. But based on the body of work, I think you give it to him. I think you say that's legit. How about you?
yeah. I don't know who else you could put in at second base. Just trying to think off the top of my head if there's anybody, but I guess yes, Semi would make sense.
Well, it gets a little bit more
It's
interesting as we move around the horn, though. Josh Jung at third base, I say no. No
yeah,
chance.
no,
Yeah.
no.
George Brett is my American League third baseman, and I will stick to it.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, again, this is where I could have made a couple of homer plays for Toronto.
I think
I
one
would have
thing not
thought
only Toronto, but what about Wander Franco? Right?
that's true too. Yeah, Wander Franco. I know he didn't even get the nod as a reserve, but I would have thought Matt Chapman could have gone in there as well. But again, he was also a guy that started the year hot and really
The
tailed
infield
off.
reserves are Vladdy, Whit Merrifield, Bo Bichette, Jose Ramirez, who also deserves it over Josh.
Yeah, if you're just looking at reserves, then yeah, I would put Jose Ramirez above Josh Young.
And I know Jay's gonna say Jung should have it and all that other stuff, and he did have some moments there. But you have to understand, Jose Ramirez is the only player on his team. He has no protection on either side. Jose, it's when you have a team full of all stars and you're in a batting order, you have protection on both sides. You know, it's like I would take Jose Ramirez over Jung. It would if they went to do that trade, the Rangers, Jung for Ramirez, they would have to throw in half the freaking team to get him. And anyways, George Brett is my American League third baseman. Sorry, I'm sticking to it. I know a lot of people like Brooks Robinson in that spot for his defense, but I think George Brett kind of did it all. Rookie of the year. It doesn't matter if he's rookie of the year, going crazy, or whatever. Ramirez is a better ball player than him. He's a better ball player today. He has no protection, and he still gets hits. Everybody knows you can't pitch to him, and he still gets the hits. It's like there's no comparison. There's no comparison. Ramirez is a top five player in all of baseball. He is, and it's an insult to him and the rest of us. Chung got the start. I think Jose Ramirez. You know what? I'm going to pick him to be the MVP of the game. How about that? Because he's that type of guy. Not that he played with the chip on his shoulder. Actually, he plays with the same attitude that Vladdy plays with. Like kind of that loose as a goose, just having fun out there, whatever. But he delivers, man. I pick him to be the MVP of this game. He's not a bad choice. And the other one that could be an MVP is Franco. He has a plus next to his name. Does that mean he's out?
No, it means he was a replacement.
Oh, it means he got screwed out of the starting position by the fan vote. Plus means he got screwed out of the starting position by the fan vote. All
No,
right.
I think it actually. I was also going to say I think it means that he wasn't even going to be there unless someone didn't play.
All right. So shortstop Corey Seager. I got no
Boba
argument. No.
Yeah,
Corey,
one of the major
Corey,
league
Corey
top.
Seager's a top 10 guy in
Oh,
baseball.
no, absolutely he is, but but he was also injured for the first month of the season. So I'm not saying
I'll
that
take
he
Seager
doesn't.
over a full Bichette any day of the week.
Nah,
Homer.
one of the top. I think he's either first or second in hits. He's solid defensive shortstop. I don't know, just personal preference. But I mean, I can't. I'm not going to dispute that Corey Seager is an all-star. He should be, right there. But I can make a case for Bo Bichette.
Hold on a second. Oh.
I swear to God, if you're putting the clown emoji over my face.
No. I'm looking for the window for the.
All the sound effects.
No, for the interview.
Oh.
Grab Dre Briggs.
Oh.
I can't find it. Maybe I'll find it now. Hang on. Oh, won't let me. I got so many windows open on my computer. Now I got the spinning wheel of death. Gonna find it. Gonna get him on here. We got Chris somehow, so it has to be here. Window interview. Where is it? I don't know where it is. It's so weird. Well, I would have you on if I could find the thing, Jay, but I can't find it. So, could it be here? Oh, it could be here. Huh? Oh, I know where I can get it. Duh. Here we go. Shoot. There you go. I'll just have to find you when you come in, though. Then we'll have to find him. But yeah, this would be a good one. We could move this logo over and put you right over here. If we could find the interview window. So weird, man. Anyways, man, let's go back over some of these guys. We moved down the roster here. And, all right, so now I hear him. There he is. All right. Got him. Oh, wait a minute. Man. Like, you guys don't even understand what it is to take to set this thing up. All right. There we go. You're on, Jay. Can you hear
What's up,
us?
fellas?
How's it going? All right. This is actually a pretty good idea. Good idea, Chris. Well, Jay, what do you think about what we said so far? I know you have some opinions here on Jung.
Y'all bad mouthing my Rangers, man. We got
I'm
6 All
not,
Stars for a reason. Now,
but but
I
but
get
the
the
thing
He doesn't
is,
Ramirez.
deserve it. He doesn't deserve it.
I get the Ramirez. I get the argument, but in the field, I'm taking Young in the field every day of the week. Young is probably the best third baseman in the field, and it's not even close. Like Ramirez, yes, he can hit. I
in
would take
all
him
of baseball or in the American League?
in baseball, and he's a
Oh my
rookie.
God!
He's a
All right, Mitch, I think you
rookie.
got to cut this now. This has gone on
What?
long enough.
I'm going to tell you this much: Nolan Arenado is one of the best third basemen in the history of the game
He
defensively.
is.
And I'll tell you, you picked the wrong era if you want to be the best fielder because Manny Machado is a hair behind. I mean, at best. And
I get that. But what I'm
And Wander
saying is,
Franco
though,
too.
he's a rookie. This is his first season in the majors, and he's having arguably the best season as a third baseman. He had to be rewarded for that. He had to be.
It'll be his last All-Star appearance.
No, sir. No, sir. I think he's going to be a staple on this team for years and years to come.
All right, watch him. Well, I got Ramirez to win the MVP, so we'll see what happens.
I like Ramirez. I do. Ramirez is funny. He's one of the best guys in the league. Like, just personality wise, he can hit with the best of them. And I agree with you. He's one of the few pieces on the Guardians team that's pretty not good. So I understand your argument, but if we're picking apples to apples this year, it's Young over Ramirez. It just is.
How about that?
And Chris, don't get me started on your Bichette and Seager argument.
Oh, please.
Bichette
You
has
got to be kidding me.
385 at bats. Seager has 238.
How
46
could you say
runs
that?
to 41.
How could you say
121
that?
to 84.
How could you guys in the comments say that Jay Briggs is being biased towards his Rangers? I don't even understand where that.
Yeah,
even
but I don't get it. I don't get it. You got Bo Bichette. You're supposed to have some of the guys that are playing the All-Star game are supposed to be the best in their position, right? I get it. Corey
Right.
Seager, great season so far in a small sample size. Bo Bichette leading the American League in hits, almost more than 20 hits more than any other player. I get it. If Seager has a full season, probably ahead of Bichette. No problem. But he's played 59 games? I don't see it as a small sample size.
The thing is, I can at least make an argument that I think Seager is the best shortstop in baseball. I think he is. I think if you have a shortstop that can hit for power, that's MVP stuff. Like the MVPs, the great MVPs of all time that have been shortstops have been power hitters. There's just not a lot of them. It's like a shortstop that can power hit, like a catcher that can actually play, that can actually hit, like Yogi Berra, right? It's like, it's a gift. I mean, it's like, there are few and far between of those. Thurman Munson, Yogi Berra, Johnny Bench. It's like, I mean, it's a 3-player discussion, for the most part. There's great defensive catchers, Yachty, the guy who played for Texas, right? Pudge, right? I mean, there's been a lot of those guys, but it's guys that can actually hit. Let's look at shortstop MVPs all time. Because third base, there's been a ton.
Yeah, I know the Blue Jays are my team as well, but I'm taking Seager over Bichette any day of the week. And I like Bichette a lot.
I mean, there's been
we cannot be right 100%.
So here's the shortstop MVPs. Alex Rodriguez.
Fair.
Cal Ripken Jr. Zoilo Versalles, 1965 was the first one before, was the next one before Cal Ripken Jr. in 83. That's how rare it is to get a shortstop that contributes like that. Because normally these guys are defensive gems. Phil Rizzuto was before that in 1950, so 15 years, in between. And then it's like, that's it. In the American League, that's it. So to have a shortstop that can hit like Corey Seager puts him as one of the top 10 players in all of baseball, if not one of the top 5. He does it in the big games too. He's done it in the big games. He did it in the World Series. He does it in the biggest of big games. Wasn't he the MVP? The World Series?
Who's that?
Corey Seager.
He might have been.
I believe he was. Now here in the National League are your shortstops that have done it. Jimmy Rollins, Barry Larkin. So I mean, these guys are like, these are all timers.
Yeah, Seager won it in 2020.
Yeah, and I think he's better than any of these guys that I'm mentioning. Maury Wills, way better than him. Ernie Banks, well, there's your argument there. That's where you're in the discussion of now with Seager, Chris, that you're bashing. You're in the Ernie Banks discussion with him. Actually, he's got more World Series than Banks, if you want to go there. And he's got the MVP. Now you go back to Marty Marion in 1944. So it's like, I think Seager is not only the shortstop of the American League, I'd say he's one of the top 3 shortstops of all time already.
That's crazy. That I didn't say that.
I said it.
I'm
Because
just
you
saying
don't
it for
get a
this season.
shortstop that hits like that, man. Normally,
No,
shortstop is Mark Belanger, from the Orioles. He bats 168 and has a vacuum, of a glove. I mean, Derek Jeter, it's like we're in Jeter category here.
okay.
We're in that territory. We're in Jeter world. Jeter's got no MVPs. Got some World Series hardware, which is good. So I'd say Banks, Jeter, and Seager. And I think Seager is still active, so he has a chance to pass him both. It's going to take a little bit. Jeter might go down as the best of all time.
Yep.
So maybe we'll go Jeter, Banks, Seager right now. But I think that I think he's in the discussion. Because you just don't get a shortstop that hits like that. And a shortstop always has a good glove. Chris is upset. He's thinking,
No, I'm good.
because Bo
I'm good.
Bichette is not in that discussion. He's not in.
I'm not saying he's going to be the best in the best of all time discussion. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this
He's
year.
in like the Davy Concepcion discussion.
I'm just saying this year with the production that he's had, the way he can hit consistently, I'd rather have him. I would put my vote in for him as the starting shortstop, just because like I said he's had the full season sample size. The full season.
It's just not how it works.
But it's a fan vote though, right? So I mean, I guess people see how well the Rangers have played. Seager's their starting shortstop. So I'm not going to disagree with that. Fan vote has a big part of it.
It's fair. I think the numbers, but Bichette, he has had an amazing season, but the numbers are the numbers. And for Bichette to have over 150 more at bats, and for Seager to be where he is, have more doubles, better batting average. Yes, Bichette has gone crazy, more runs, but only 5 more runs with 150 more at bats. I'm looking at maybe 30, 40 more hits, but like I said, that's 150 at bats. So
we just got the "you don't know baseball" comment. Okay, I have an argument with people all the time, and I'll go toe to toe with anyone. Baseball is not my top sport, by any stretch of the imagination. It's not the one that I enjoy the most. But I'll tell you what, I watch more baseball than anybody that votes for any of these awards and for any of that other stuff. I watch more baseball than any of them, and any of the guys who are on TV talking about baseball. I watch more games than any of them. So I do have a right to an opinion here, and I've watched more games than any of them, and I've covered more games than any of them. All of them. So
I think it's going to be Bichette's going to get in there and have a good game, though, of course.
Oh yeah, they're all going to get in because the manager is on the hook if the guy gets injured. That's why they do it this way now. Like Chris and I went over this yesterday. Like starting pitchers or pitchers in All-Star games used to go 2 innings all the time. Yeah. Now they only go 1 because it's like now you get accused of working over the other guy's pitcher. Like you keep. Because normally the guys who manage the All-Star game, their team is in contention again this year because they won the World Series or were in the World Series last year. So their teams are in contention. So it's the Phillies, right? He's got to be the manager of the National League. I haven't looked into this stuff. My guess he is. So what are you going to do? You're going to throw out those Braves pitchers, man. You're going to leave that Spencer Strider in there for 9 full. It goes extras. Leave him out there, man. 135 pitches, whatever. That's what you do. That's what I would do. I wouldn't think twice about it. Hey, I won the right to be the All-Star game, pitcher, the starter, the whatever. Just like the Astros, right? Dusty will be managing the American League. Shohei Ohtani's the starter. Just leave him in. It's like he's at 178 pitches. Great. Let's see what 179 looks like. Leave him in. So that's why. It's like a lot of guys won't play in the, don't play in it. A lot of teams also, what you see them do now is they'll pitch the guy on Sunday. That's the All-Star. So it's like, well, he's not available. Because they don't want some other manager managing your guy, especially if they're in the division. Thoughts on the over under 7.5 tonight?
I gotta think that goes over. I mean,
got
the unders? Yeah, unders what 13-3 in the last 16 All-Star games, but it's like, look at the talent you got on both sides. We got hung up in the middle of the American League. We look at the National League. I think the National League's got the better offensive lineup. So I think it's 7.5. I think it's just way too low, even especially when you look at all the pitchers that are going to come in. Yeah, they're fresh arms, but these are still fresh bats too that are going to want to put on a show.
So if the National League wins,
yeah,
Sonny Gray will be the losing pitcher of record.
You sure it's not? No, I was going to say maybe it's Kevin Gausman, but then I realized he's staying home.
No, it's not Gausman. He's not playing, right?
Yeah. He said he's skipping it to be with his family.
He just pitched on Sunday. That's what the smart managers do. Your guy gets named to the All-Star game as a starter, so he still gets the status.
Yeah.
He just doesn't get to play in the game because I'm not letting it happen, man. Why would I put my guy in that guy's hands? I ain't doing it.
I gotta see if there's a line for who's going to be the losing pitcher.
Yeah, I think it's Sonny Gray. If the National League does win, it's going to be Sonny Gray. We'll take a look at the American League pitchers. We'll take a look at the National League pitchers because more than likely. Anyways, Mike Trout, obviously not going to play. Randy Arozarena, we saw last night. I mean, this guy, you could see what you saw last night, I think, from Randy Arozarena is that we might be just in the second inning of this guy's career, right? What we saw last night was, wait a minute. This guy actually is way better than we thought he was. Because to me, he's the guy that I'm laying 1.5 with the Rays. I got a chance to cover the run line, and he doesn't get it done, right? But it's like the reality of it is that this guy is better than we thought. I thought Franco was the best player on that team. Maybe Rosarena is. Aaron Judge, any argument with that one, Chris, because he was injured? You think half of Aaron Judge, that anyone's better than him?
Well, I mean, like I said, it's a fan vote for the first part, right? So, you're
a fan.
The fans obviously. Yeah, I know, but I'm not an Aaron Judge fanboy.
How about Shohei Ohtani as the DH? You guys have a beef with that?
No, not at all.
That was an absolute lock. Needed that.
No. All right, so here's the reserves. Salvi and Adley Rutschman. I didn't get to see Adley Rutschman in the home run derby. I missed that part, but I did see a tweet by someone saying the home run derby is not going to be won by some guy named Adley. That's for sure. Captain America. I think these are good ball players. I think Salvi is a borderline Hall of Famer because he's got the ring. He's got a lot of hardware. Adley Rutschman, I think, has got a little bit more to prove. The Orioles haven't been that good for that long. Vladdy, there's a guy that has a chance to be the MVP also. MVP home run derby champ.
Yeah, he's not having, the season we thought he would quite have, but he's definitely a star in baseball, and the storyline of him and his father winning the home run derby, like he's a face of baseball and he deserved, to be in this game, is my opinion.
They're saying that the home run props are insane for the All-Star game. Did you do a home run video for the All-Star game, Chris?
No, I didn't.
You didn't do one?
No.
All right. Well, what do you think of these home run props? I mean, the pitching matchups are insane. In the All-Star game. We went over yesterday Fernando Valenzuela's, march through the batting order in the All-Star game. And I'd never seen anything like that. And I haven't seen anything like it since.
I'm trying to find the home run props for the
he struck out
a couple books.
Dave Winfield, Reggie Jackson. It was like he faced 12 batters, right? Isn't that what it was? 12 batters total in 2 All-Star games, and like all of them were Hall of Famers. And the only one, like he walked one and then got Rod Carew to hit into a double play. It's like struck out 5 in a row. And then Kirby Puckett grounded out to break the streak.
Well, these aren't nuts.
What's that? The props?
The home run props, yeah. The
thing
lowest price is.
Well, the thing is that generally All-Star games are won on a home run.
Yeah. Yeah, the lowest home run prop, the cheapest one out there, there are 2. There's Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani for a home run at plus 560.
Yeah, so Bryce Harper's down to him when he was in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, All-Star games are generally lower scoring games. They're generally lower scoring. I'm gonna go with the under on that one too.
I'm going with the over.
I'm gonna go under.
In American League.
I'm gonna go under, and I definitely think Sonny Gray has the potential to lose this game.
I would go Kodai Senga for the loss.
Here's some of the reserves: Salvi, Rushman, Vladdy, Whit Merrifield, Bo Bichette, Jose Ramirez, Wander, Louis Robert Jr. Another guy who could be the MVP with a home run. It could be him. Is another guy it could be. Austin Hayes, Yordan Alvarez. He's injured, right?
Yeah.
Garcia, Kyle Tucker, who's been a hitting machine this season. Julio Rodriguez and Brent Rooker. Talk about we got to have an Oakland player in there. There it is. Now the pitchers: Shohei, Cole, Castillo, Sonny Gray, Eovaldi, Gosman, Shane McClanahan,
Will not play.
Yeah. Framber, not playing. He pitched Sunday. Another smart move by the Astros there, right? Dusty, he would have had to have played him. Michael Lorenzen is an all-star. Why don't you make Miggy the all-star?
That's what I was going to say. Why is Lorenzen the all-star?
Yeah, I mean, that's to me, making Miggy the all-star is acceptable. He should be the all-star, He should have been the captain. They should let him hit the home run to be the MVP. George Kirby, Pablo Lopez, and Jordan Romano, who could also be the losing pitcher record if the American League loses. All those guys deserving, Chris, or just
Yeah, well, it's like you said, the one with Lorenzen was we have to have a Tiger there, so I don't get why it's him.
How about Kirby?
Yeah. Kirby, I'm not mad at Kirby only because he was a replacement. Like I don't think he just flat out earned it, but since McClanahan's not playing, I can understand Kirby being in there. It's my argument.
Yeah, I don't think Kirby's had an all-star season. I love Kirby. I love the potential. I don't think he's had an all-star year. Now, Whit Merrifield's a guy who's really damaged my bankroll over the years. This guy has clutch hit on me like no one's business. Him and Garcia, I think. Garcia got me a couple times this year. But freaking Whit Merrifield's made a career out of damaging my bets. Chris is like, he's on our team now. But what he got me was when he was on Kansas City.
Yeah. No, me too.
He damaged me. So to me, it just looks like heavy on Rangers, heavy on Blue Jays, this roster. All right. We move on. National League. Oh, the relievers. Wow, I didn't even see this. Kenley Jansen sucks. He could be the loser. Clase, who I thought did not even deserve to be an all-star, is not playing. I mean, I think that's just because of pride. He doesn't deserve it. Yennier Cano, and the guy who did deserve to be the all-star game, like an actual all-star who was added to the roster, Carlos Estevez, who I thought should have been an all-star. He's had a great season. Any of these guys, Chris, that you hate? Cano.
Is Batista an All-Star too, or is he not playing?
Who?
Felix Batista for the
Yeah,
Orioles.
he is. He's in. So they got two relievers from Baltimore.
Yeah, no one I can really disagree with.
I say Jansen and Clase, no.
Would you have a replacement for them, or they just shouldn't be in?
They just shouldn't be in. I thought Estevez over Clase when they made the announcement. Clase has 7 blown saves. I've been on the wrong side of 7.5 of those.
Hey, you know what? That's why he's an all-star. It takes some talent to blow 7 saves in a season.
No, I actually been on the right side of a few of them, but I mean, he has blown 7 saves.
Yep.
What kind of music you listening to out there? All right, we go to the National League, which is light on Giants. As far as when I first saw the roster, and it still is. Sean Murphy, catcher. No argument here. Anybody?
Nope.
Nope. I think he is the guy. The backups, Will Smith and Elias Diaz. Got to have a Rocky. So, now, the thing about Diaz that you have to also say, if you come to Jay's defensive argument, I think Diaz has been the best defensive catcher of the first half. I think Heim's been the best offensive and Murphy, but I think Diaz has been the best defensive because he's roasted me on some run lines too, so throwing guys out.
That's fair.
Freddie
Freeman, any argument there?
Nah.
No, I don't think you can argue. I think
it's a little bit argument.
I was going to say I think it was tight, but I think you probably give it to Freeman.
Me too. I voted for Freeman, me personally. So I think it was close, like Chris said, but I would give Freeman the edge.
I always vote for the guys that are the worst have the lowest. They hand them out, and it's like the lowest ones. Kind of like when they used to do the mock fantasy drafts online. I don't know if they still do them anymore, but I was like thrown off of like a few sites for like picking, like all the worst players and the worst teams. Speaking of which, I finally saw that Spence Crawford Showtime special that they had.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna watch it today.
Oh man, all the Cowboys are on.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it today.
He goes to the Cowboys practice, and all the Cowboys are like getting his autograph and everything.
Oh, you just talked me into it. I'm on that, man.
CeeDee Lamb and Dak and everybody.
That's why I'm so excited for that fight, though. Spence is from Dallas. I'm from Dallas, man.
Both these guys saying they're gonna win. So
yeah,
the odds are so even on it too.
It's gonna be a great fight.
But it was like all the Cowboys though were on it, so it's like you gotta see it. I was like, Jay's gotta see it. Morning. We're on live.
Hi live.
Anyways, Luis Arise, second base. Any argument here, Chris?
No. I think if there was one guy that you probably assume was a lock, it's probably going to be Arise.
Jay, he doesn't have the glove that some of the other guys have.
No, he doesn't, but he has the bat.
400 batting average.
Yeah.
All right. Nolan Arenado gets the start for the National League. He had a horrible first few months of the season. Actually, before they announced the roster, he was terrible. And then once they announced the roster, he's been playing really, really well recently. I still think he's going to get traded. Chris, any Arenado?
No, not when you see that Austin Riley is the alternative. I think it's got to be Arenado. Arenado's had a couple of those hot stretches where he hits.
Where's Manning?
Is he on there? No, I don't see him on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just said he wasn't going to play, or I don't know. But yeah, Austin Riley is the alternative. Arenado, he's had those stretches where he hits like 6-7 home runs in like a 2-week span. He's done it like a couple times this season, and it's been like one of the few bright spots for St. Louis.
I'm agreeing with Chris again. I would go with Arenado simply because I don't think his replacement is any better. But I don't think just off performance alone that he did it. You get me?
Could be one of the best. Could be one of the best defensive all-time third baseman. All time. And third base has had some incredible defensive guys. But as always, for the National League, my third baseman is Mike Schmidt. Michael Jack Schmidt. George Brett for the American League, Mike Schmidt for the National League. No reason to even have the vote. That's what it's going to be. When I was a kid, every year it was George Brett, Mike Schmidt. Like every year. Then we got a lot of candidates on the pitching staff here for losing pitcher record. See, this is where I think the National League lineup is a little stronger than the American League as far as the batting order, but the pitching staff on the American League is way better than the National.
I think so, and I think so too, especially with the top guys for the National League not even playing.
Yep.
No Strider, no Elder, no Kershaw, no Stroman. Like, come on, who's so?
Well, we're gonna go through them, and believe me, we'll have chances here for the pitcher record. So Orlando Arcia is the shortstop in this one. It just tells you how good Seager really is. I mean, that really does. It's like this is by default on this one, because I do think Xander Bogaerts I think in that Padres lineup, I think Bogaerts is playing the best of anybody. So, I don't know.
Who's his backup?
I like Bogaerts. The backup was Dansby Swanson, but he's not playing.
So I think that's why they brought in Geraldo Perdomo, but
well, yeah. But I think Dansby Swanson was a great pickup by the Cubs. Obviously, he's injured. I don't know. I just think that it just shows you how much better Seager is than all of these guys. And I think Bogaerts is really not bad. So, all right. So we go to the outfield, and Ronald Acuna Jr. Any arguments there, Chris?
Who's better than him out there?
I got nothing.
Where does he land in the top 10 baseball players of this season? Where is he in your top 10?
Number 1.
He's 1? He's up there. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Jay, any argument with Acuna Jr.? They should maybe have one of the Rangers starting the National League team because
Nah, he's been on a tear, man. No argument from me. He could very well win MVP of the game.
So Swanson is hurt. Got Mookie Betts, who did not come through for us last night in the home run derby, but he's still my guy. I love Mookie. I don't care. He's played on the two teams that I can't stand, the Red Sox and the Dodgers, and I still like him. That's how good he is. The thing I love about Mookie Betts is that he's always up. He's just always up. It's like I watch all the games, and it's like even the games I'm not watching, I still have them all on the TVs. And my wife will be like, Mookie Betts is up again. It's like even she knows who he is. She's like, Mookie's always up. And then I'm watching the food truck race, and Mookie's on that too.
He's just a star, and of course he should be here.
Corbin Carroll's had a great season for Arizona.
Amazing season, well deserved for the young cat.
That's kind of like a guy that he deserves. He might not be back. Maybe he's perennial. Who knows? Maybe he turns into a superstar. But there's a guy that deserves it. And then the DH role, Chris, J.D. Martinez. This could have really been anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely could have.
This is a little Dodgerism here, I think, on this.
Yeah.
All right, the reserve. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Martinez had a really, really hot end of May into June, and he just carried that. He parlayed it into an all-star start.
So Ozzie Albies, number 6 hitter in the Braves lineup. that's just not even fair. It's not even fair. Austin Riley, another Brave.
Yeah.
Dansby Swanson not playing. Pete Alonso, who, like I said, took off some weight, and I think he's just a lot better than we've seen him in the past. I didn't see what happened in the home run derby, but I'm guessing he went out in the first round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
J-Rod got him.
He just didn't have it, or
I think he hit 24, but like I was saying earlier, the guy that he had throwing to him was just spiking the ball in front of home plate, so it didn't give much of a chance.
But they did say that the worst pitcher was the Rangers guy.
Yeah, it was.
But I mean,
I saw people were saying this is the Rangers pitcher, and it was like a medley of first pitches that people had thrown out, and it was like Fauci's, and stuff like that. Like here's the Rangers pitcher, and it's like, I guess terrible.
But I mean, when Julio's crushing 41 in the first round, setting a record for most in a single round, it's probably going to be hard to beat that, even if you are a two-time home run derby champ like Alonso.
The best home run derby? Which one do you think was the best home run derby?
The Bond, the one.
Judge and Stanton in Miami. That was a good one.
I like that Bonds one where he's just
But there was one with Stanton and Judge had one where they were hitting like the back of the stadium, like shot after shot after shot. There was that one, Judge and Stanton, and then my other favorite, of course, McGuire and Sosa. The year they both went off, that was unbelievable. That was I think the All-Star game was in Chicago, so like they were flying out of the stadium.
Do you miss the old format?
I like the old format 10 outs. Because I think that this one, the guys get tired and it just rushes them up. And I thought it was super unfair, and somehow he still won anyway. And I did see this part, that Vladdy was up, and then the next round he was first, and he was like right back up again. It's like playing in this one, it's like this gasses you. This is like an almost aerobic conditioning.
Oh, just wanted to ask.
It's like, I like the old format. How about you guys?
I see what they were trying to do with the new format, make it more like head-to-head competitive, but I like the old format better as well.
Yeah, because this way, if your pitcher throws a bat, you can take pitches. If the guy throws a bad pitch, you take a pitch. On this one, you swing at it, everything, and it's like that. Those swings, man, they take a lot out of you when you're swinging like these guys are.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I kind of miss the old format. I think the old format sticks to the heart of what it is. It's supposed to be your ability to hit home runs, not just how many you can hit in a timed environment. Josh
Hamilton was definitely one of them too when he won.
Yeah, sure. How that slip my mind? Of course, that's the greatest one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's part of the reason why I'm such a huge Ranger fan, and he doesn't get talked about enough for the impact he had in the league.
He started on the Reds. He had like a lot of problems, that guy, and he overcame.
Yeah, he did.
Good story. He made a lot of money. He made a ton. So here's some other guys: Nick Castellanos, Lourdes Gurriel, Pete Alonso, Geraldo Perdomo. Any argument with these guys, or you just think they're just kind of not going to matter? Juan Soto, and then Jorge Soler, who could be the MVP if the National League wins the game.
That could be the guy to look for a home run
off of Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
If you see that Gray versus Soler matchup, you might want to in-game it right there. Now here's the pitchers for the National League. So Zach Gallen, we're going to see him early. So that's the thing. This is the problem here for Soler, is that he might be gone by the time Sonny Gray gets there. So I like Gallen, right? We have no arguments here. Strider and Elder not playing. Justin Steele is a guy that's iffy at best.
Yep.
And he must be stuck in there. Well, he has a low ERA, right? So, like, that's probably why he's there. But he might be in there because, like, Swanson's injured. Mitch Keller, outstanding. They took him out the other night in the 7th inning in the Arizona game. They had the game won. They took him out and gave up 2 runs and lost. Like, first guy, they put the reliever in. First pitch, the guy hit a home run. Someone's here. It's my wife. Hi, Carrie.
Hi.
Say hello to everybody. You're on the air.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Anyways, Josiah Gray. I don't know if he's an all-star. I guess they really had no one in Washington.
When you're looking at this roster for the National League pitchers, I mean, you could say that for a few guys. So I see how they kind of had to just plug and fill.
Well, you got to always have a guy. I mean, that's how. Oh man, who was the guy that Oakland had one year? He ended up pitching Chris in Chicago. He was like, oh man, what was the guy's name? It was. I mean, he pitched in Chicago for. It was terrible. He was an all-star. But I could see Josiah Gray, getting into trouble. But he only has to pitch one inning, Kodai Senga.
That's my pick for the loss.
Alex Cobb. You think Senga's the loser?
Yeah, that's my pick for the loss.
I think it could be. I'm gonna guess if it's the American League. I like the Senga pick there for the loss. Jose Ramirez, because he'll get in late. And it could be that Jose Ramirez home run off of him.
Could be Josh Hader once we get into the relievers.
Corbin Burns. He's been a little rough. He's pitched. How is he an all-star? I mean, he's picked it up recently, but how is he an all-star? All right. Alexis Diaz from Cincinnati. He's been great. He's been really good. What do you think? Any arguments there, Chris?
No, not for Alexis Diaz.
Josh Hader. How about you, Jay? Jay likes the Reds. How about De La Cruz not being on this roster anymore?
It's a shame. It's a shame. I think he's the most electric player in baseball right now, and
how is he not?
And the point of the All-Star game is for the fun and for the electricity. So how is he not here?
Well, the thing is that he was also a call-up after the season started, so he's eligible for Rookie of the Year next year, too. He could win it 2 years in a row.
I would want to see him be put in as a pinch runner in this game today. Oh, that would have been fun.
Baseball has the oddest rules when it comes to their awards. It's like it doesn't matter what happened before. It only matters what happens now. So if you got called up mid-season, you're eligible for Rookie of the Year next year. And then if you played in Japan for 10 years or something and you come to the majors, you're a rookie. So Ichiro was Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Mills, I know he only played 6 weeks, but were those not the most entertaining 6 weeks that anybody had this season?
It was the most entertaining 6 weeks of the entire last 10 years of baseball.
And that's my argument.
There hasn't been a more exciting player than this in baseball in as long as I can remember.
Yep.
Chris is Chris is still arguing Bo Bichette.
No, I'm just I agree. I wouldn't mind seeing Ellie De La Cruz there, but
he's still arguing Bo Bichette. Josh Hader.
That's who I think takes the loss.
I think he's been a lot better than he's been in recent years. I think he's been a lot better. Devin Williams, he's not playing. He has not been that good. I've said this a million times. It's like if you're going to get rid of your setup man, your closer, and you got to have a good setup man. To take it over. And Devin Williams was a good setup man, but he's not a great closer. Wow, we're way over our half hour. Yeah. Camilo Deval, only Giant in the entire game. The funny thing was when he got announced to the All-Star game, what was the first thing that he did? Blew the save. It's like his only blown save of the season. He absolutely deserved it. David Bednar, Pittsburgh. Usually when there's a guy that you never heard of like this, right? That is not a guy that's like a household name that's in here. They're usually really good. That's the way it works. But they also are the candidate to take the loss. And Craig Kimbrell. This is a manager pick. I don't think he deserves it. He sucks. He sucked for a long time. He's terrible in Chicago. White Sox. I hate this thing. What is this? Chris, you teaching that move? What are you doing? Like
No,
it's like Craig Kimbrell impersonation, except he actually does it with this arm. All right, let's get down to predictions. Chris, side, total, MVP, losing pitcher record. What do you got for us?
All right, side. I'm gonna go with the National League. Total. I'm gonna go over 7.5. Losing pitcher. I'll go with Josh Hader. And MVP. Why not Shohei Ohtani?
So explain to me how you get to Hader over like a Corbin Burns type.
I'd say I think the National League wins, but if there's going to be a losing pitcher on the National League, I think it's going to be Josh Hader. But on the American League, yeah, I'm with you. I didn't want to just hop on Sonny Gray. So, but yeah, I'd say probably
any contingency if the National League wins, if the National League wins, who do you think's the loser in the American League?
American. Let's see, American League. Let's
pretty right there.
Yeah, Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray could be there. Kenley Jansen.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. But then that to me that means the games are going to be decided late. When these games are generally decided in about the fourth inning.
Yeah.
Jay, how about you? What do you think?
American League for the win, going for 10 straight. I'm taking Marcus Semien or Corey. No, I'm going to go Corey Seager. I'll go Corey Seager. Corey Seager for MVP and lost Kodai Single for the National League. That's
all right. I'm gonna say
and over. My bad, and over.
I like the under. I think it's Jose Ramirez is the MVP. I think that Corbin Burns is the loser for this thing, and I just think it matches up. It's just in the game that way that those guys are probably going to face each other, and yeah, I like the under American League under. If the National League happens to get the win, if it goes the other way around, I'm going to say Sonny Gray will be the losing pitcher record, and I will say that Luis Ariz will be the MVP because I do believe that he's going to get a hit. It's just a matter of if guys are on base. I think he has the best chance of getting a hit against no matter what pitchers you put him up against. It really isn't going to matter. All right, well, we got a lot to talk about, Jay. We got NBA Summer League today.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna record as soon as we get off here.
All right, I'm excited to see it. I've been following it a little bit, and just a couple of games left. Really, not a ton of Summer League. The Summer League comes and goes fast, and then the season is here before you know it in October. So, got that, and of course, I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. So it might be Chris and Jay wants to be on with them or whatever, but not sure.
Let me know.
All right, thanks everyone for joining us. It was a fun half hour. We'll see you tomorrow. No excuses, just free picks here at Pick Talks.